Okay, uh, where to start? I was involved in a television project looking at the representation of young people on television news. And the reason why we were doing this project was because there's been a decline in the amount of news that young people watch. By young people I mean 16 to 24. And yet TV news is one of the main sources for information for people generally about what's happening in the world. So there's a kind of disconnection between television news and young people. Television news doesn't seem to be addressing things that are of interest to them. It doesn't seem to be speaking to them in a language that they can sort of readily understand. It doesn't also, very importantly, it doesn't present young people themselves in a very diverse range of activities and in relation to a diverse range of issues. So, for example, we looked at a month's worth of television news programs, over 2,000 stories, and we found that the items that focused mostly on young people, they were very largely about young people as either perpetrators of crime or victims of crime. Or they were celebrities, like well-known celebrities like footballers and so on and so forth. So that's a very narrow representation of young people. It means that all the kinds of issues around housing, education, leisure, recreation, unemployment, jobs, health, all those issues that are relevant to young people are not being discussed. They're really only on television news as either victims of crime or perpetrators of crime, and that's very narrow. And we also found that the news, when the news goes to people and asks them for comments, when they ask for people to speak about issues, that young people are only 1% of all the news stories that we looked at. Only 1% of the voices that you heard belong to young people. Ordinary people only had, generally, excluding young people, ordinary people only had 8%. The majority of the voices went to politicians and experts. So there's a kind of exclusion and marginalisation of young people in terms of literally having their voice heard on the television news.